If you're over 60 and you walk every day, that is good. But if walking is the only exercise you do, your body may still be missing two major signals. You can walk for 30 minutes and still lose the strength to rise from a low chair. You can walk around the neighborhood and still feel unstable when you turn quickly in the kitchen. You can hit a step count and still have weak hips, poor ankle reactions, and a grip that makes groceries feel heavier. That is the trap. Walking is valuable, but walking is not the whole system. After 60, the body needs three kinds of signals if you want to stay capable. It needs endurance, so the heart, lungs, blood vessels, and metabolism stay active. It needs strength, so muscle, bone, joints, and daily power do not quietly shrink. And it needs balance, so the nervous system can still correct you before gravity wins. If one of those signals disappears, the body does not complain immediately. It adapts quietly. That is what makes the mistake dangerous. Before we go deeper, one safety point matters. If movement brings chest pressure, fainting, severe shortness of breath, sudden weakness, new confusion, or a fall with injury, do not train through it. If you have unstable blood pressure, severe joint pain, advanced osteoporosis, neuropathy, heart disease, or major balance problems, the right version should be adapted with a clinician or physical therapist. The goal is not to push through danger. The goal is to give the body the right signal at the right dose. Now, let us build the three-part system. Type 1 is aerobic exercise. This is the category walking usually belongs to. Aerobic work is rhythmic and continuous. It makes the heart pump, the lungs exchange air, and the blood vessels deliver oxygen. It also helps blood sugar, blood pressure, mood, sleep, and stamina. This is why walking is one of the best starting places after 60. It is accessible, low impact for many people, and easy to repeat. But aerobic exercise answers only one question. Can your system keep moving for a while? That question matters. But life asks other questions too. Can you produce force? Can you stop a fall? Can you climb stairs with power? Can you carry something without your back and grip giving up? A walk does not fully answer those questions. That is why people can be faithful walkers and still feel weak. The heart may be trained better than the legs. The lungs may be trained better than the hips. The step count may improve while chair power declines. This is not a contradiction, it is specificity. The body improves most clearly in the thing you ask it to practice. If you practice walking, the body gets better at walking. But if you never ask the thighs to push hard, the thighs may downshift. If you never ask the hips to stabilize, the hips may become lazy. If you never ask the ankles to react, ankle reactions may slow. That is why only walking after 60 can leave gaps. If this kind of explanation helps you understand your body more clearly, subscribe to Feynman's Body Code. And if you're comfortable, write your age and country in the comments, plus whether you mostly walk, lift, balance train, or do all three. I want to see which part of the system most people are missing. Type 2 is muscle strengthening exercise. This is the piece many walkers miss. Strength training does not mean you need to become a bodybuilder. It means the muscles meet resistance often enough to remember their job. The resistance can be a weight, a band, a machine, your body weight, a stair, a grocery bag, or a chair. The tool is less important than the message. The message is force. After 60, force is not optional decoration. Force is how you stand up. Force is how you climb stairs. Force is how you catch yourself when your foot lands badly. Force is how you carry groceries, open jars, push doors, and hold a railing. Walking uses force, but usually not enough force to protect all of those jobs. That is the key distinction. Aerobic work trains duration. Strength work trains capacity. Duration is how long you can keep going. Capacity is how much reserve you have when life suddenly asks for more. A person can have decent duration and poor capacity. They can walk on flat ground but struggle with stairs. They can stroll slowly but cannot rise from a low seat without using both hands. They can move around the house but fear carrying laundry. That is a strength gap. The strength signal should touch the major muscle groups. Legs and hips matter because they move the body. Back and trunk matter because they transmit force and protect posture. Chest, shoulders, and arms matter because daily life uses pushing, pulling, reaching, and carrying. Grip matters because the hand is often the final link between you and the world. If the grip fails, the railing, bag, jar, tool, and door all become harder. So strength training is independence training in disguise. A simple version can begin with sit to stands. Stand from a chair with control, then sit down slowly. That trains the exact pattern life asks for every day. Wall push-ups can train pushing without needing the floor. Resistance bands can train pulling and shoulders. Step-ups can train legs and balance together. A light carry can train grip, trunk, and posture. The dose should be challenging but controlled, not painful, not chaotic, not so hard that you need 3 days to recover, but not so easy that the body ignores it. The useful zone is repeatable challenge. That is where strength grows without turning the plan into punishment. A good sign is that the last few repetitions feel demanding but clean. If form collapses, the signal has become noise. After 60, clean movement matters more than proving a number. The goal is not to impress the room. The goal is to send a message the body can use. Type 3 is balance exercise. This is the other piece people miss when they only walk. Balance is not just standing on one leg like a party trick. Balance is the system that keeps your body organized when the world changes. The floor is uneven, the light is low, the rug catches your foot. You turn to answer a voice. You step around a chair, you reach into a cabinet. These are balance events. They happen before you have time to think. Balance depends on vision. The inner ear, foot sensation, ankle reaction, hip strength, trunk control, and the brain's prediction system. Walking on a flat, predictable path does not fully train that system. It trains movement in one direction. But falls often happen during transitions. Turning, stopping, reaching, stepping sideways. Getting up at night, changing surfaces. That is why balance needs its own signal. The safest balance training is not reckless. It is controlled. Stand near a counter or sturdy chair. Put the feet closer together. Shift weight slowly. Practice heel raises and toe raises. Try a semi-tandem stance. Practice turning slowly with support nearby. Practice stepping sideways. The body learns by being challenged just enough. Too little challenge, and nothing changes. Too much challenge, and the cost is too high. The middle is where the nervous system wakes up. Balance also protects confidence. When confidence falls, movement shrinks. When movement shrinks, strength shrinks. When strength shrinks, balance gets worse. That loop can make a person old faster than age itself. Balance training breaks the loop early. Now, there is a fourth word people often add: flexibility. Flexibility and mobility matter. Stiff ankles, tight hips, and a rigid spine can make walking, strength, and balance worse. But flexibility works best as support for the 3 main signals. It helps the body access better positions. It does not replace strength. It does not replace endurance. It does not replace balance. So stretch and move your joints, yes, but do not let stretching become the only thing you do because it feels safer. After 60, the body needs a complete conversation. Cardio says keep the heart and lungs active. Strength says keep the engine and the frame strong. Balance says keep the guidance system awake. Mobility helps all 3 speak clearly. Now let us turn this into a simple weekly model. The first anchor is aerobic work. For many people, that can be brisk walking, cycling, swimming, dancing, water aerobics, or active gardening. Moderate intensity usually means you breathe harder and can talk, but you would not want to sing. That is the heart and lungs signal. The second anchor is strength at least a couple of days a week, adjusted to ability. Use movements that ask the major muscle groups to produce force. Chair rises for legs, step-ups for hips and stairs, rows or band pulls for the back, wall push-ups for chest and arms, carries for grip and trunk. The third anchor is balance practice. This can be brief but frequent. A few minutes near the counter can matter if the challenge is real and safe. Balance is often better trained in small doses than ignored until a fall scares you. The mistake is trying to put all 3 into one heroic day. A better plan spreads the signals. Walk on several days. Strength train on 2 days. Practice balance in small, safe pieces through the week. Add mobility where stiffness blocks good movement. That is not complicated, it is complete. Let us compare 2 people. Person 1 walks every morning and does nothing else. Their endurance may improve, but their chair strength may keep falling. Their balance reactions may keep sleeping. Their grip may keep fading. Person 2 walks, trains strength twice a week, and practices balance safely. They may not look dramatic from the outside, but their system receives 3 different messages. Keep the pump. Keep the engine. Keep the guidance system. That is a very different biological conversation. The body does not adapt to intentions. It adapts to repeated demands. If the only demand is walking on flat ground, the adaptation will be limited. If the demands include endurance, force, and balance, the adaptation becomes wider. This is why the word on the calendar should not only be exercise, a better word is signals. Did I send the cardio signal? Did I send the strength signal? Did I send the balance signal? Those three questions are more useful than asking whether you are active. Active can mean many things. Signals are specific. Now watch what happens when the signals are missing. Without cardio, the stairs may make you breathless sooner. Without strength, the stairs may make your legs burn sooner. Without balance, the stairs may make you cautious and tense. Same staircase, three different systems. That is why guessing is weak. You need to know which system is limiting you. If you can walk long but struggle to stand, strength is probably missing. If you're strong in a chair but get winded fast, aerobic capacity is probably missing. If you can do both but fear turning or uneven ground, balance is probably missing. The body gives clues. Your job is to read them. Let us make those clues more concrete. The first clue is the chair. If you need both hands, a rocking motion, or a very high seat to stand up, walking alone is probably not enough. That does not mean walking failed. It means the chair is asking for strength. The second clue is the staircase. If your breathing is the main limit, you may need more aerobic reserve. If your legs burn and lose force, you may need more strength. If you feel nervous placing the foot or turning on the step, you may need more balance practice. One staircase can reveal three different missing signals. The third clue is the grocery bag. If the bag feels heavy in the hand but your breathing is fine, that is not a walking problem. It is grip, shoulder, trunk, and carrying capacity. The fourth clue is the turn. Many people walk forward well, then become stiff and cautious when they turn. That is often a guidance system clue. The fifth clue is the next day. If a normal walk ruins the next day, the dose may be too high or recovery too low. If strength work ruins the next day, the load, volume, or exercise choice may need adjustment. If balance practice scares you, the setup is wrong. The correct dose should challenge you, not punish you. This is where older adults often go wrong. They choose either too little or too much. Too little means the body receives no adaptation signal. Too much means the body receives damage, fear, or exhaustion. The useful zone is in the middle. You should finish thinking, I worked, not I survived. That distinction matters. After 60, a good plan respects recovery because adaptation happens after the signal. The exercise is the message. Recovery is when the body writes the reply. If you send messages every day but never allow a reply, the system gets irritated. So more is not always better. Better is better. Better means the right signal, repeated, with enough recovery. Now let us build a simple week. Imagine 7 days on the board. You do not need every day to be hard. You need the week to contain all three signals. On one day, take a purposeful walk. On another day, do a short strength session. On another day, walk again. Add small balance practice near a counter on several days. Then add another strength day. The exact days can change. The principle should not. Cardio should appear. Strength should appear. Balance should appear. If one never appears, that is the missing thing. This is the simplest audit. Look at the last 7 days. Did you train the pump? Did you train the engine? Did you train the guidance system? If the answer is yes to only one, your body is receiving a one-sided education. A one-sided education creates one-sided ability. That is how someone becomes good at walking flat and bad at real life. Real life is not flat. It is stairs, chairs, bags, turns, curbs, bathrooms, kitchens, cars, and unexpected moments. So the plan has to train more than a step count. Now let us talk about progression. A signal that never changes can become background noise. If the same walk always feels easy, you may need a little more pace, distance, hills, or frequency. If the same chair rise always feels easy, you may need a lower chair, slower lowering, more repetitions, or a little load. If the same balance stance always feels easy, you may need a narrower stance, slower turns, or less hand support. Progression does not mean recklessness. It means the body is gently asked a new question. The question should be small enough to answer. This is how capacity grows. Tiny upgrades repeated over months can change what feels normal. A faster walk becomes normal, a cleaner chair rise becomes normal, a steadier turn becomes normal, a grocery bag becomes less threatening. That is the quiet power of training all three systems. There is also a brain effect. The brain trusts what the body practices. If you only practice easy forward walking, the brain trusts easy forward walking. If you practice strength, the brain trusts rising, lifting, and bracing. If you practice balance safely, the brain trusts turning, reaching, and correcting. Confidence is not a speech. Confidence is evidence accumulated in the nervous system. That is why exercise after 60 should not only burn calories, it should give the brain evidence that the body still works. That evidence changes how you move through the world. You stand taller. You turn less nervously. You use the stairs with more trust. You leave the house more easily. This is not vanity. This is participation. Here is the clean model. Walking is the pump signal. Strength is the engine signal. Balance is the guidance signal. Mobility is the oil that helps the parts move. Only walking after 60 can leave the engine and guidance system undertrained. Only lifting can leave the pump undertrained. Only stretching can leave almost everything underloaded. The body needs all three main signals. Not perfectly, not brutally, consistently enough that the systems stay awake. Start with the type you already do. If you walk, keep walking, then add a small strength signal, then add a safe balance signal. If you already lift, keep lifting, then make sure the heart and balance are not being ignored. If you mostly stretch, keep the mobility, but add force and walking. Do not make the plan heroic, make it repeatable. A repeatable plan beats a dramatic plan that disappears in 2 weeks. After 60, the body is not asking for punishment. It is asking for a complete message. Move long enough to keep the pump, push hard enough to keep the engine, challenge safely enough to keep the guidance system. That is the three-part answer. And if you do those three, walking stops being lonely. It becomes part of a real system. That is how the body stays useful after 60.